So the first time I ever went for a walk around OBIHIRO, I remember walking out into the street and being like, it's really quiet here. There's so many big tall buildings. And as I walked between the tall buildings, I suddenly started realizing all of these are hotels. Well, at least half of these big tall buildings are hotels. So let me just give you a little view. This is standing right outside the station. So, JR Inn, hotel. That says hotel in Japanese. That's the Richmond Hotel. This one's actually not a hotel, but it's right next to Tokachi Gardens Hotel. Over there is a hotel, and behind that is another hotel, just in case you hadn't worked that out. Over here is the Appa Hotel. This one back here is car parking and a hotel. And that building again in Japanese, that says hotel. Although OBIHIRO itself isn't like a ski resort or anything like that, I think the reason for all the hotels is just simply because there's a lot of skiing kind of in this area. I mean, this is an area of Hokkaido where this is kind of the only city out here. I mean, the other cities are quite a fair distance away. There's a good wall of mountains between OBIHIRO and most of the rest of them, so I think that's just what it is. This has got proximity to a lot of skiing locations. Plus there is a lot of other things here. There's some really nice onsen areas. There are some little countryside places you can visit. But as a general, yeah, I've always been amazed by how many hotels and how they stay in business, especially considering that literally you come here in the summer, and I've been here in the summer, it's really, really dead. I mean, there's no one here, the hotels are all empty. So yeah, it's kind of amazing how all these buildings stay in business.
The next thing that hits you when you walk through the city is the announcement system playing everything from calming music to super enthusiastic adverts. And this isn't unheard of in small cities in Japan, but with the big hotels and nearly empty streets, the sound just sort of echoes charmingly around every avenue constantly for like all of the daylight hours.
So now might be a good time to tell you why I keep on coming back to this quaint little kind of a city. Why I visited for snow festivals, summer festivals, rafting and food. It all started with one of my longest standing friends in Japan who I bonded with over a love of music, a subject we would discuss for ages, and led her to work with me on a song. She invited me to visit the tucked away little city, so I'll respect her privacy and not share her picture without her permission. But in the following years, I would visit to play music with her and musician friends, including an annual live show in the city. Just a chilled out little jazzy community hall, but it was a fun highlight of the year. As the years went on and I found myself in Sapporo especially, OBIHIRO became my place to get away from everything and have space to think and write. Like a private city paradise. It still kind of is. So it holds a bit of nostalgia and a bit of peace every time I come back. So yeah, this is quite a nostalgic place for me.
It's the middle of December and there's no snow. And as I was pointing out earlier, these hotels around here, which makes up most of OBIHIRO, they are kind of dead during the summer, and I think during the winter a lot of it is related to going out into the beautiful sort of snowy countryside. So when you see that there is no snow, you start to worry about, okay, that's going to have an impact on the economy. Now obviously the economy has a lot of other stuff going on around here, like farming and such like, but it does make you worry a lot about how that's going to sort of be affected. And then with the COVID thing as well this year, it's amazing how these businesses are staying open and staying alive. And obviously there was a lot of stigma around Hokkaido because Hokkaido was the first place to have a noticeable outbreak of COVID. And that stigma still remained, even though it's now got nowhere near the sort of figures that places like Tokyo and I believe Osaka also have. That's nice, isn't it? Someone can still clearly afford for building work to be done, so things clearly aren't totally falling apart. If you're paying for renovations then things go well. I've noticed all this steaming up I'm getting is probably because when I talk, all of the hot air coming out of my mouth, steaming up my glasses. this is one of the coolest streets in OBIHIRO. There's a couple of streets like this. These are just like loads of little mini izakaya, little mini bars where you can have food and drink at the same time. And so they're great for like a night out, and you just pick all of these. They're all separate ones, all separately owned, all got their own menus and everything. Just pick the one you want to go in. There's probably about room for about 6 people to sit in each one maximum. And then that one's a bit bigger. And then you can just go in there and chill out. And I've had many good memories with the couple of friends I've got in OBIHIRO, just sitting in those, sitting down for a little bit of a drink and a meal. And the weird thing is as well, is because of the fact that obviously it's just a very small place, it kind of feels almost cozy. It's almost like sitting in a living room, but maybe there'll be like 1 or 2 other people in there, and so it's very easy to make friends, but without it feeling overly crowded, you know. So I really like that little mini izakaya setup. There are other towns who've got that, but I just think that OBIHIRO's got a couple of streets like that where they just kind of do it perfectly. In fact, as I was suggesting, that's not the only little street of mini izakayas. Here you've got another little indoor street with loads of little mini izakayas all along there. And then over here, this is actually the one me and my friends more commonly used, is yet another street of them if I walk across the road without getting run over. I mean, this is amazing that there's so many of these little places, and I absolutely love that fact, because realistically it means that if you're the sort of person who likes drinking every night and you're not particularly obsessed with being loyal to any particular place, you could drink in a different place every night for a month, 2 months. You could really mix it up, and it just amazes me considering the number of people there are out here. Like I say, the fact these places stay in business, and yeah, I just love that, because a lot of them are really, really quiet. You know, not exactly a huge amount going on in there, just maybe a couple of people, and yet they stay in business, and I love that. It's just something of so much character to that. Okay, I'll level with you. This one's a new one on me. I think that's actually a horse-drawn bar. But he doesn't seem interested in picking people up, so I think that's like a specially hired thing. Still, that's a first. I like that. Next time I'm here, I'm going to hire me a horse-drawn bar.